Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a late Saturday night video, right here on Metal God 669. And as always, thank you for watching, make sure you like the video, and please hit that subscribe button down below. And that's it. No big fancy intro like I usually do, takes up half of your time, but it is what it is. But when we get serious, we get serious. No fancy intros, none of that bull funky, as we call it. That's bullshit for you dumb people that don't know what it means. But we got that. Alright, on this Saturday night, October the 11th, 2025, the calm before the storm here in New York City. By the time, like 12 hours from now, it's going to be windy as fuck. And raining a lot. All day Sunday, pretty much all day Monday and the part of Tuesday. But wind up the wazoo. That's all I'm going to say about that. Hopefully, I don't lose power tomorrow because of Bound for Glory, for wrestling purposes, for Bound for Glory and the 49ers at 4 o'clock. So I don't know if the rich man's dish would probably be affected, so I might not be able to watch the game tomorrow because of so much fucking rain. But, you know, we'll see what happens with that, but, you know, I have a backup, and I can always watch it on the Niners app. So, see what happens with that, and then hopefully I get to watch Bound for Glory tomorrow night. And, that's that. But if you're in the Carolinas, you're getting destroyed, pretty much hit hard with a lot of rain, wind, coming up the coast and everything, up to Virginia, and, probably in New Jersey by now, by the time, you know, by about 5 o'clock, I think the really big winds are gonna start, and then it's just gonna be insane. Flood warnings and just, supposed to get about an inch of rain tomorrow, and then another inch of rain on Monday. Ugh. Glad it's not December, because if this was the winter time, oh boy, we might get hit with a blizzard. I mean, definitely I'll probably be losing some power. Like 25 inches of snow I have to dig out from. That's not fun, especially with a messed up back and neck that I have. Oh, the winter's gonna be fun. Like last year was, even though we didn't get a lot of snow, thank the Lord. But we'll see what happens to that. Alright, enough of that. Alright, hope everybody had a great Saturday, and if not, well, too bad for you. Alright, let's get serious, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for those of you who've never seen my channel before, and you're wondering, like, why do I see a lot of Rest in Peace videos? It's supposed to be a metal channel. Well, yes, I do have metal music-related videos in between my tribute videos, because this is a half tribute, half music channel. But I would say 80% of my videos are tribute videos to the faithful departed in music, TV, movies, wrestling, sports, stuff like that, politics, and whatever it is. And I do have music-related videos. I do have concert footage. That some of it, got copyrighted because of the fucking artist. You know, it is most of it is local bands and some some not festivals, I should say. It's basically local gigs and stuff like that. But, with them playing some, like, bombastic 80s, 70s, 80s, up to now. Rock and roll and metal and all that other good shit. So, if you like that, check out this channel. If you want to see tributes, then you came to the right place, too. But if you don't want that, then get off my channel. That's pretty much it. But, if you haven't been here, and this is your first time watching, and you wanna subscribe, then please do. And that's all I gotta say about that. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, we lost an icon in Hollywood, in music, actually. I didn't know some of this stuff. But she was an amazing actress. director, producer, and ladies and gentlemen, we lost icon Diane Keaton today at the age of 79. As always, no cause of death as of right now. But, it was just a big shock. I saw this on Twitter earlier in the day, and I was like, wait a minute, Diane Keaton died? Wait, what? I didn't even know she was sick. She's 79, but still, she looked in great, in good health the last time I actually saw pictures of her, or on TV. But anyway, per TMZ, Los Angeles Fire Department responded to Diane's home in LA at 8:08 this morning. That was 11 o'clock this morning here on the East Coast, and an ambulance transported an individual, which was Diane, to a local medical facility or local hospital, where later on she sadly passed away due to what? We don't know. So, just a really shocking death in the world of TV, music, and movies. I'll get that. Alright, a little bit of backstory, as always. Her movie credits are impressive. Something's Gotta Give, First Wives Club, Father of the Bride, great movie. Annie Hall, she was in The Godfather. Oh, yes, she was. And some people are like, no, she wasn't. Yes, she was. Book Club, Baby Boom. That's one of my favorite movies from her. Baby Boom, Hanging Up, and on and on and on. She became famous way back in the 70s after appearing in the Godfather franchise. Yes, the first two. I don't know about the third one. I know the first two. The third one. We don't talk about the third one here. If you're an Italian, we don't talk about the third Godfather because it sucked. But anyway, she was in the Godfather 1 and 2, and also worked with director Woody Allen on Annie Hall, which was an amazing movie. She won an Oscar for that in 1977, where she starred alongside Woody Harrelson, Woody Allen. She was born in 1946, great year, in L.A., was the oldest of 4 children, and her first movie was in 1970 called Lovers and Other Strangers. Sounds like an album, but I digress on that, but anyway. She got her big break playing Al Pacino's girlfriend in The Godfather, reprising her role as Kate Adams in Godfather 2, and sadly, yes, she was in Godfather 3. We all know Al Pacino's part. He got whacked. I think in the first or second one. But anyway, she was also in other Woody Allen films, including Interiors, Manhattan, and Manhattan Murder Mystery. She also, she directed, yes, I hate saying this, but she directed a Justin fucking Bieber video in 2021 for his song Ghost, which is actually in the video. Hey, if you directed a Justin Bieber video and you're Diane Keaton, I guess it was pretty damn good, huh? Don't get me started with Bieber. We're not gonna get that right now. We're being serious. TMZ last saw Diane back in 2023 signing autographs in New York City at the beginning of the writers' strike. Remember that? That didn't last that long. Anyway, she never married, had 2 adopted children, but during her career she was linked to Woody Allen, Al Pacino, and Warren Beatty, who was, if you a big fan of Warren Beatty, he was linked to Madonna. Remember Dick Tracy, anyone? Anyway, she was 79, and that's basically it for that. I did have another story here. Here we go. This is also coming from TMZ. Hollywood has came out and talked about her, but Bette Miller said some stuff on her social media page. She said, the brilliant, beautiful, extraordinary Diane Keaton has died. I cannot tell you how unbearably sad this makes me. She was hilarious, a complete original, and, completely without guile or any of the competitiveness one would have expected from such a star. What you saw was, it ended there, from what I get on TMZ. But you get what she was saying. Octavia Spencer said, today we lost a true original. Rosie O'Donnell, all people, Rosie O'Donnell said, oh, this breaks my heart. Love to her children. What style, what grace, she would be missed. Hashtag RAP Diane Keaton. I know she did a lot of, music videos. I'm trying to get, but besides the Bieber video, I think she produced. I read it. I completely forgot. See how unprepared I am, but it is what it is. I know she did a couple of rock tracks. I remember now. She directed. I didn't even know this. She directed 2 of probably one of Belinda Carlisle's top hits. Heaven's A Place on Earth, and I Get Weak. I did not know that, and I'm a big music guy. I'm like, wait a minute, she directed that? Oh, produced that? I think she produced it. Let me see something here. Blah, 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 blah. She received accolades throughout her career, spanning over 5 decades, including an Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, and 2 Golden Globe Awards, in addition to nominations for 2 Emmy Awards and a Tony. That's pretty impressive. I'm trying to get, her, not her discography, yeah, here we go. She directed Belinda Carlisle's Heaven is a Place on Earth and I Get Weak, among others. But like I said, I did not even know she directed those videos. I thought it was like some guy like Mutt Lang or some shit, We even know it's a metal guy, but we all know him from Def Leppard. Yeah, she directed Heaven is a Place on Earth in 1987, and then in 1988, I Get Weak, marking her only documented work in the music video medium. The project occurred as she was establishing herself as a director, having completed the 1987 documentary Heaven, and before her 1995 feature film directorial debut, Unstrung Heroes. So, and Belinda Carlisle actually went on social media today. She was in shock. Music videos reached cultural prominence in the 80s as MTV transformed music consumption. Remember when MTV was actually a music channel, ladies and gentlemen? Not RTV, ridiculous television right now, because all they show is the Jersey Shore, which is nothing wrong with that, but everything else is like garbage. Catfish and, cheating shows. I'm like, who wants to watch this? I want to watch music videos. I gotta go to MTV Classic, which is basically VH1 Classic and MTV merged. But most people don't get it. If you have here in New York, if you have Optimum Verizon, you get that. If you have Dish, you get it too. But if not, you're fucked. Unless you have a music channel on your package, like Music Choice, or I don't know what the other one's called, but Dish Music or whatever. You can go to a certain channel. It's like Spotify-ish or Pandora. You get your own channel and everything. You can listen to the 80s channel, listen to 90s metal and stuff like that. But with Sirius XM stuff. But anyway, yeah. Artists sought visually compelling videos to promote their songs, frequently recruiting directors with film backgrounds to add production value to the format. There's been a lot of good ones in the 1980s. Heaven is a Place on Earth featured children wearing black masks and capes while holding illuminated plastic globes. I always thought that was like a video for The Undertaker or something like that. I just thought of that. Anyway, with Belinda Carlisle appearing in a strapless dress. She was... Ugh. She looked so good back in the 80s. And I met her back a long time ago. I don't remember what year, but she did a show where her band missed their flight, and it was just her, 2 backup singers, and a backing track. But she still kicked ass. But meeting her backstage, I'm like, what happened to the band? I was like, sucked that your band wasn't there. He was like, yeah, it happens. Yeah. But she could have sung a cappella, and it would have sounded amazing. Or acoustic, well, if you had a guy that plays the acoustic twanger, I could have done it for free. I didn't need to do it. But anyway, she's a nice lady. Yeah, the song reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in December 1987, topped the charts in the UK and other countries. It was such a big hit for her, coming up, kind of breaking away from the Go-Go's, because the Go-Go's went go-go, bye-bye, after a while. And then she went solo, and she was the big part of her going solo. All the other Go-Go's went, not really... It went anywhere. But in any case, her direction emphasized the song's romantic themes through visual imagery that complemented its uplifting tone. The video received significant airplay on MTV, you'd think, contributing to the song's status as a defining 80s anthem that continues to appear on decade retrospective lists. Oh, if you get Spotify, you get that religious thing on the 80s channel. I Get Weak, the second single from her Heaven on Earth album, peaked at number 2 on the Hot 100, reached the top 10 in the UK. Keaton's direction incorporated soft lighting and intimate visuals, reflecting the song's lyrical content about romantic vulnerability. Yeah, basically, you see, if you see the video for that, Belinda's in a nice little nightie, not nightie, pajamas, and her hair's all did up. Great song. That's an amazing song. I'm a big 80s guy. Oh, you thought I was a metal guy. I love metal, but I'm a big 80s metal guy. I mean, Metallica, the early days of metal with Sabbath and Priest and Maiden, and then thrash metal and hold up to now. Good metal. Alt metal. So many subgenres of metal. Viking metal. Alt rock metal. Or alternate rock metal. Craziness. But the 80s is just the best decade ever. You want to debate me? The 90s were better. No, not really. Not really. The only thing good about the 90s were grunge, the rise of hip-hop, the East Coast, West Coast thing with Dr. Dre, Tupac, and Biggie, and Sean getting fucked in the ass Combs. Got 4 years, fucker, but you can get out in 2.5. Sucks to be you! And then near the late 90s, yeah, the rise of new metal, which, Kid Rock, and then we got Nickelback, Creed, Dick Biscuit, Stained, eventually Korn, eventually Disturbed. And then the 2000s came, and the new wave of metal came, not new metal per se, but new age metal, like Slipknot, and then eventually 2005, well, really 2007, but they formed in 2005 in this moment. The greatest metal band, right, not of now, but, it is what it is. And then you get Lamb of God, and eventually Motionless in White comes around 2010-ish. And now you just got amazing bands. Some of them you've never heard of. Like Lynx and Conquer Divide. New Year's Day came out early, but they were a pop metal band. Not the goth well, I wouldn't say goth, but heavy metalcore, you can call it. Ash turning in from a pixie, from a pretty princess that had blonde hair. She turned into a vixen with red and black hair, which she still has. She's amazing, my sweetheart. Mwah! Ash Costello, or as I call her, Wash. I don't want to talk about that. Wash! I meant to say Ash, but it came out with a W! Moving on. But yeah, like I said, the 80s are just great. A great decade. You can't debate me about that. Because some of you were never born in the 80s. What's the 80s? Who the hell is Tears for Fears? And people never heard Tears for Fears before. I mean, I go on YouTube and I see all these people doing reactions to music videos they've never seen before. And they're watching a lot of 80s style rock, metal, and some, not so metal songs. And they're like, oh my god, what is this? It's good music, that's what it is. Just saying. Where was I? Alright, we garnered substantial MTV airplay, obviously, supporting the single's commercial performance. Her involvement provided Belinda's solo work with production values that differentiated it from other era music videos. Mostly Michael Jackson videos, or Madonna videos, or, New Kids on the Block videos, stuff like that. Even the metal videos are, way different. You see, but you go from, Poison showing big women with big boobies, and Bret Michaels and the band, Bret Michaels, flaunting himself around the hot, gorgeous women. Even with, all the other glam hair metal bands, all the sex, drugs, rock and roll era. And then you turn from that, you go to Belinda Carlisle, just spinning around the room with kids playing with big globe balls or whatever. Wait a minute. This is different. I don't want to hear the cookie stuff. Well, not so much the cookie stuff of the metal 8 days in the 80s, but it is what it is. I mean, you can turn on MTV and you get a Metallica video, then the next thing you know, he just goes into a Belinda Carlisle video. I'm like, huh? When you get those, you go to MTV Classic, you get the all 80s, it depends on what day. You get a 5-hour block of 80s videos. You can go from Metallica to freaking Belinda Carlisle. I'm like, whoa! That's a change of pace. Kind of brings me back to my college days, you know what I mean? Well, I would start my shows with the 80s and then go right into, and I finish up my 80s hour, go into metal. My final song would be something like Billy Joel, Allentown. The next song up is In This Moment's Daddy's Fallen Angel. We're here living here in Allentown, and then Daddy's, Maria Brink screaming like a banshee. And then next thing you know, I'm playing Disturbed's, anything by Disturbed, and then I kind of go back to the 80s a little bit, here's Disturbed's, voices. Coming up next, Duran Duran! And everybody's calling in, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I'm just changing pace, I don't want to go 3 hours with just metal. I have done that, but back, afterwards, when I changed my format up a little bit. But people were like, I want to hear the metal. I don't want to hear so much the 80s. I'm like, alright. We'll play the 80s metal. You want that? Yeah, I want that. Okay. I'll give you 80s metal. Here you go. I'll play a whole hour of fucking Metallica. Why not? And that's that. But anyway, I'm getting a little off topic. I apologize for that. But anyway, just want to send my heartfelt condolences to Diane Keaton's family. Losing family members, not the greatest thing in the world, but Diane Keaton was an amazing actress, amazing director of great 80s videos, two great 80s videos by Belinda Carlisle, and I would say Justin Bieber, even though that video sucked. We don't talk about Bieber here. In the metal community, he's like the Antichrist, next to Celine Dion, and Limp Bizkit, pretty much the Antichrist too. But we digress. But Diane Keaton was an amazing woman, a great actress, and just sad that she passed away. But so, as I always do on my Rest in Peace tribute videos, I want to take a ceremonial toast of whatever I got. We all know what's in here, Pepsi. So, to Diane Keaton, rest in peace. Miss Keaton, you're a great actress. 2 great 80s videos. Brings me back to my childhood. So thank you for those 2 amazingly Belinda Carlisle videos. Great actress in The Godfather, one of my favorite movies of all time. Annie Hall, another great movie. Baby Boom, great movie. But just an amazing person. So Diane, rest in peace. Here's to you. That's that. Alright guys, I am out of here. I'm going to do some other videos. So I'm going to give you guys a change of pace on my next video over on my wrestling channels. So, that's that. But if you have any thoughts and opinions about Diane Keaton's passing, put it down below in the comment section, and we'll talk about it. And that's pretty much it. But thanks you for watching. Once again, rest in peace to Diane Keaton, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be well, be safe. If you're here in the Northeast, be safe tomorrow and Monday. If you're going out, hopefully you don't have to go out tomorrow, but if you have to go out, I wouldn't even want to go out tomorrow in this monsoon of wind and rain. But be safe, everybody, and charge your phones accordingly. Because you lose power, your phone is like 30%, you're screwed. Because you don't know when the power is going to come back. Could come back in 5 seconds, come back in 5 minutes, 5 hours, the next day, who knows. Hopefully I don't have that problem, because usually my power does go out for like a few seconds. A few seconds. It doesn't last that long, but then it comes right back. So, but with certain storms, it's crazy here in New York, but gotta live with it. I've been here for 48, going on almost half my goddamn life. Pretty soon I'll be retiring. And don't have to worry so much about, the rain and the snow. I'll be on a beach somewhere getting a nice tan. Looking at the ladies with dong bikinis. And no, I'm not talking about my wifey. Anyway, but yeah. A few years I'll be pretty much retiring. Early, I'll be in my 50s and I'll can't retire yet, but, I'll be on a beach somewhere not thinking about things so much. Just thinking about my life as I get into my 50s and 60s, and we'll see what happens from there as we go on to the next phase, the next chapters of my life. Because the first half is done, pretty much almost done. Now, in 2020, end of 2026, going into 27, I'll start the second half of my life. See what happens with that. First half has been, up and down. Up and down. Up and down, like my dick in your mom's ass. And that's that. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Got other things to do. Thanks for watching, and, be true to yourself. Take each day as it comes, because we never know when it will be our last. We don't have that thing in the Nickelback video. We never know when the good Lord will call us. Hopefully, not too soon for some of us. But take each day as it comes and live life to 90%. The other 10%, don't know. That's from DDP. And that's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.